Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another FIFA 21 video where today we've got a look at the 4-2-3-1, which obviously was the best formation in FIFA 20. So we're going to be taking a look at it today to see if it's as good as it was last year. So if you do enjoy the content and you do want to see more, make sure you do hit the subscribe button. It would be much appreciated. Make sure you do follow us on Twitter if you do have any questions that you want to ask, or put them in the comment section below. Make sure you do follow us on Twitch as well, as we would like to stream eventually. It would just be nice if you guys can follow us on there and show us your support as well. But without further ado, going into the tactics. These were the tactics that I ended up settling on. We'll get into the instructions, but the tactics first and foremost, I decided to go with balance. Now, the thing is about like defensive style, offensive style, it's really good to vary and change with different formations, because certain things suit certain formations. For me personally, you know, I like to play on a press, especially like on press on possession loss, press on heavy touch. I don't think it works as well in this formation. I found it not to be as effective. If I was going to play a press, definitely would say press on possession loss, but because it does lead to you conceding a couple of chances. Like all presses, you can see, really good example. Obviously, just a good ball over the top to Mbappe, and you do create and give up chances. It does make it very difficult to defend. But I think this is a formation that works really well. It is more of a defensive formation, you could say. So it's good to have that sort of compact nature. So I definitely think playing on the balance is the best way to go. Width and depth, as I've said, it's always pretty standard. You don't really want to change it too much. You know, you can just tweak it anywhere between sort of the 4, 6, 7 mark, around that figure. You know, you don't really want it to be too high, too low. You can see what I've settled on, and that was where I decided to go. And the last but not least, on the offensive style, I went for fast build-up. The reason why I went for fast build-up, I experimented with possession. Possession's a little bit too slow for the way that I personally like to play. If you're someone that likes to hold lots of possession and really build up your attacks really slowly, I like to have lots of possession and build my attacks up, but I like to speed it up in the final third. When you have possession on, it doesn't speed up at all. It does kind of stay really slow and lethargic all the time. So I went for fast build up because that kind of suits me a little bit better. Now again, it does leave you a little bit open for counter attacks, but you have to have that attacking intent in the game. But fast build up just meant everybody was just able to drift around and create lots of chances, so it worked effectively very, very well. Now, in terms of the instructions, I actually decided to have my fullbacks this time on stay back while attacking. Like I said, with this formation, this 4-2-3-1, it is a more sort of narrow, compact. You could, like I said, you could say more of a defensive formation. There's certainly some other formations, maybe like a 4-2-2, a 4-3-2-1, a 4-3-3. It's more defensive than those formations, so you want to kind of play to the strengths of the formation, and the strength of this formation is being compact, being tight, being difficult to break down. So stay back while attacking on the fullbacks is the best way to go on this one. I did experiment with balance. I didn't quite like it in this formation, especially with the wide cams. It just kind of felt, especially out wide, it didn't quite work as well. However, you can see every now and again, Semedo at the top end of the pitch on this example, they do get forward, your fullbacks, sometimes every now and again, and it did yield a great chance. Obviously, Fernandes dropping back into some good space and was able to tap it away pretty comfortably. So your fullbacks still do get forward every now and then, and they can create a good opportunity, but I just would rather have that solidarity in defense in this formation. Now, with that being said, the two CDMs, which we have Nainggolan and Vidal, I actually had on balanced attack. Now, this might seem a little bit counterproductive, given that you just said you want to have a more sort of not defensive, but a more compact formation to beat. It would make sense to have these guys on stay back while attacking. But I actually found that with that back four being a little bit more solid and difficult to break down, that actually you could have these guys on balance. They still got back in and defending. Obviously, you have to defend yourself. You have to pull them back as well. You can't just let the AI do everything for you. If you're able to kind of really control your midfielders and really pull them back into position when you need them to. In this example, you can see obviously Semedo is out of position. He's just trying to get back. He just went a little bit too high up the pitch. It meant Essien had to drop in the defensive line, which kind of left Goretzka on his own. So I was able to control Goretzka. And this is what I mean by being able to control your midfielders, cut out the passing lanes and stop that attack. And actually from us intercepting that ball, you can see we pass it into Neymar. and we did manage to get 3-1 just before the half. So being able to control your DMs yourself is very, very important, which is why for me personally having them on balance worked a lot better, because I'm able to control my DMs, get them back in the positions that I want them to be, and still, you can, as you can see, make interceptions and be pretty solid in defense. Now the attacking midfielders are probably, I would say, the most important in this formation. Now the central cam, we've got Luis Alberto, we have on free roam. I like to have my central cam on free roam so he can drift about. It makes it easier for him to link up with the striker as well. But the two wide cams I have on stick to position. I like them to stay as wide cams because we've told the fullbacks to stay back while attacking. So they're not going to be getting forward and giving us width. Therefore, we want those wide cams to stay out a little bit wider and give us that width. Because if you have these guys on free roam, there could be some situations where all three of them are in the narrow, in the middle of the pitch, and obviously fullbacks aren't getting forward, so you've got no one out wide. So everything can then just become a little bit crammed and condensed. You can see a couple of really nice examples here. Again, we ping this ball out to the bottom. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, we've got our fullback was there, but our wide midfielder, our wide attacking midfielder, who stays out there, which is really, really important, because you don't, like I say, you don't want everyone drifting inside. We then just sort of wait, we're patient, we then play it into Neymar again. Great skill move from Neymar, then he's then able to knock it back to Lewandowski, much like the Fernandes chance before. So it's really, really important that you don't, like for me, I did experiment with playing with all the guys on free roam. You can see this time our midfielder, again, our attacking midfielder, look at the spaces in. That's just what that free roam technique allows you to do. It just allows him to drift, and you can see then linking up with Mbappe. It's just much easier for him to link up to the striker, whereas if he's kind of stiff, he's just stuck in one position, there'll be times where he's not going to be able to get and lose those positions and lose the DMs of the opponent's team. So it's really important. Like I said, you're still able to get plenty of numbers forwards, 5 in the attack there. But it just allows you a little bit more creativity, because you've already got a pretty defensive back line, so you can just have a little bit more flair going forwards. And having those two wide cams just giving you that little bit of width and allowing that central midfielder to kind of just free roam and do what he wants, give him a free roll. It's just very, very effective, and you're still able to score plenty of goals. And then last but not least, we've got Lukaku up top. I've got him on get in behind, and I've got him on the balanced width as well, because I don't mind him drifting a little bit wide every now and again. It just makes it also a little bit difficult for the opponent's defenders to pick him up. But he never drifts wide into like a wing area position. He does always kind of drift sort of maybe from one centre back to the other. He doesn't go all the way out to the right or the left wing. So it's not as bad as it seems. Maybe it has been in previous years. But Lukaku on balance with getting behind, you could have him, again, this is more dependent on who your player is. We could have Lukaku on a target man, because he's obviously a bit of a bigger guy, and then it gives him a little bit more to link up with Alberto, Ericsson, Caputo. They can then make runs off him. Maybe that would play a little bit better to his strength, but I found that getting behind was effective. You know, I've got a hunter on Lukaku, so he does have some good pace. So it depends on your personnel in that position. If you've got a quick striker, have him on getting behind. If you've maybe got a taller, more lanky striker like we have, you can try him on target man. Just try out a few things, but I found that getting behind worked really well for me. But that is it for the 4-2-3-1 video today, guys. So if you did enjoy the content and you do want to see more, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. It would be much appreciated. If you have any questions about this formation, do let me know in the comment section. But that is all for today, guys. Have an awesome day.